Hello, I am the FM Novice and join me as we create a legend in the Ukrainian leagues at Helios Krakow. Today's episode should be a fairly sharpish one today. We've had quite a long break. It was the 18th of November when we were last together. We are now on the 12th of February. We are 3 months into our winter break. We are very nearly at the point where we start our mid-season, pre-season friendlies. If that makes any sense at all, we've got about 8 days for our next game, and then there'll be another month before we play our first league game, which is that Grunik Sport game at home. That'll be our next live com. That'll be the next episode. But I just want to give a quick episode in between time because I want to make sure I don't lose the traction on this save. So I want to use today's episode to bring you up to speed what has happened in the last 3 months or so. I have been a very busy bee in the transfer market. Only one player in, but a number of players have left the club. The one in is Yuri Batshuayin. He's a centre midfielder or attacking midfielder, a really strong looking player. 3.5 star at the moment, actually 4.5 star at the moment. Let's give him the credit he deserves. 25, young player still, lots of room for improvement. Really pleased to get him into the club. £300 a week, which is kind of average wage for the club at this level. I'm very happy that he is on board. I have tried to bring in more players, but I'm already nearly £1,000 a week over my wage budget, so I'm very limited with the players I'd like to bring in. Which brings us quite nicely to the players that have left the club. Vitaly Subachev has left. He has gone to Taveria for nearly £22,000. I am very happy with that bit of business. He very poor player for me. Average rating of 6.5 in the games he played this season, and he was second or third choice right winger in the end. So to get him off the books is a really good piece of business. Following Subachev out the door is Maxim Yerekin going out to Metalist 1925 for the pricey sum of £4,500. Very pleasing bit of business for this one. He was second choice keeper a long way behind Denis Sorendenko, who is number one at the moment. So very pleased to get him off the wage budget. And I've also been able to get rid of Dmitrio Grankin, defensive midfielder. Didn't play for me at all. Never looked likely to be as well. He was, as the scouting summary will say on the screen there, only signed Grankin as a last resort. Never going to be good enough. The fact that I got £2,500 for him is a very pleasing bit of business. He's out of contract with his club at the end of the season, which suggests that neither Vindier Tisea aren't overly keen on him either. But he's off my books. Good riddance to bad rubbish. My task at the moment is to bring in some loan players. I'm looking for another central defender to give us a few more options, potentially a left-sided midfielder as well. I do have my eyes on one player who is completely against those two positions, but Boris Orlovsky, 25-year-old centre midfielder, looks to be an outstanding player for this level. Really strong physicals, decent technically as well, that tackling and marking. So it shows that he's a good ball-winning midfielder. If I had the money, and he only wants £250 a week, so that's not a big wage, but I just haven't got the financial resources to bring him in, which will probably be the difference between a decent finish, mid-table finish, than a finish at the top of the table. We are currently in 5th position at the midway point. 7 points off the second playoff place and 8 points off the top of the table. A good run of form is required if we are going to get us back into that top half of the table. We're expected to finish top half, so even if we don't recover, I'll still be able to go into next season knowing I've done a decent job. But from where we were mid-season, I say mid-season, mid-halfway through the season, if that makes any sense at all, we have dropped off considerably. We were top of the table after we beat Poltava, but form has deteriorated since then. It's important we do something, whatever we can do to turn that thing around. And I think maybe that'd be where we change our formation slightly. So home formation, 4-2-3-1. I'm really happy with that one. It pretty much works most weeks. If we don't win, we don't seem to lose very often playing this one. So away from home is our biggest problem. I'm going for this one, 4-2-3-1 with 2 defensive midfielders. A lot more defensive, a lot more structured. I'll have to see how that pans out. That's how I'm going to play during my pre-season or mid-season, pre-season, whatever it's called in the Ukraine. But I'm going to do that over the next few games to see what it can produce. Hopefully, it can produce a solid defensive performance and we can hit teams on the break. I've got some good wingers, and I've got Kravchenko up front who is scoring, should be able to score some goals for fun. So hopefully that will work out for me. Which brings me on to the last part of the video. It is my squad review, and if I'd realised how much of a pain in the backside this process was, I wouldn't have started it. But I have started, so we must finish. So defensively, these are the options available to me at the moment. Sergei Garavchenko, a player I've mentioned before because I brought him in early season. Real strong looking player, all round on the board. Slightly disappointing average rating at 6.96 at the moment in the league. He's not done fantastically well, but he's still bedding in as a new player. So the jury and the judge are both out on him at the moment, and we'll just have to see how he does. But he is versatile. He can play centre-back as a last-ditch attempt, but I haven't played him there at the moment. The termination of 3 is a worry with this guy. When the chips are down, he's going to lose his head very quickly. Alexander Tomenko has been my find of the season, really. He's averaging a 7.2 at the moment, a really strong option at that centre-back position. No one seems to rate him. He's 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential, but he's producing a really good season. Heading 12, marking 13, tackling 13. Those are the technicals you want from a very basic centre-half, and he's performing admirably in my side. Alexander Mazalov is on loan from Shakhtar. Yes, he's a squad player. He's a filling in options. He can play centre-back. He can play right-back. Not really one for the future beyond this season, I would imagine. Nothing really to stand out apart from 14 tackling. He's good in the air, effectively 13 heading, jumping reach 14. He does okay when he's required, but he won't be a regular in any way, shape or form. Neither will Roman Kudchenko, a player I brought in to fill up the squad a little bit. He can play anywhere across the back, left back, right back, centre back, but he's only played once so far this season. 2-star current ability. He will not improve going forward. Should not really have signed him, and I have made him available to get him off the wage bill if I can. But no one, unsurprisingly, wants him, so I'm stuck with him for the next 4 months or so on £70 a week. Sergei Loboko is the old man of the team, 32 years old, 2.5-star, won't get any better. Real physical player, decent mentals and technicals as well. He's coming to the end of his career, I would imagine. Probably will only have one more contract after this, potentially. 6.99 is average rating, so he's doing all right for me. A real stalwart of the Helios team. He's played over 200 times for the first team now. I might look to move him on in the summer if I can get better options in, but he's a decent, solid player who knows exactly what this club is trying to be. Vladislav Kravchenko is the final option I've got myself available. He has been first choice left back all season, doing a very decent job. He always seems to be involved. Real good physicals. 6'3", so probably more suited to being a centre back with that height, but he doesn't really have the skills to do it. But a good centre back. That's not a good centre back. A good left back who has made that position his own all season. Average rating of 6.88 is slightly disappointing, but he always seems to be involved in the good things that we're doing as a club. So very happy to have this guy as my left back. Unbelievably, I've managed to waffle for near on 20 minutes now, so we'll end the episode there. It'll probably be a lot shorter by the time I've edited out all the utter nonsense I talk. The next game will be the Gurnik Sport game at home, 18th of March. So we've got about 5 weeks of pre-season friendlies to play before that point. But join me then. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please do leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. I've been the FM Novice, and I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Have a good evening.